Welcome to the Straight Red Card. This is the last segment out of 3 on the Mexico versus USA game. And this time, we're going to get into some specifics regarding the antics, some of the bottle throwing and cup throwing and all that jazz. But let's start with our main man, Aguchi Onyewu, who apparently, in a joking way, said after I think the women's Mexican international said there are more Mexican fans than American fans in this crowd today. Gooch said, "Don't say that. I'm about to go over this table and strangle you." And he said it in a joking manner, but that's really not something you can say on live TV as a joke anymore. And he apologized today.
I appreciate you adding that caveat to saying anymore, because I didn't see anything wrong with it. It was clearly a joking comment, and quite frankly, I think she took it that way.
Yeah. I mean, and he even apologized right away.
It's just humorous banter. And I honestly think that the apology made it cringy. I think beforehand it was fun. It's just Mexico U.S. banter back and forth. He wasn't literally going to go across the table and strangle her because she said there's more Mexican fans in the stadium. They talked about that before she was even on there. They said, well, that's the problem with playing in the United States. There's a lot of diversity. Every game is a fight for a home game.
Yep.
No, it was just fun banter. Now, he probably looked at it and said, well, I shouldn't have said that to, a female commentator, somebody I probably don't know that well.
He said it live. He said...
Yeah, well, no, that's what I'm saying. It didn't matter. Yeah. I mean, I'm saying he probably thought that to himself. If that's why he apologized. Because if he said it to Davies or Dempsey, they would all just laugh it off. But he probably realized maybe it was an inappropriate thing to say to somebody he doesn't know very well. Or maybe he does know her. I don't know. But I didn't see anything wrong with it.
Look at the ethos they were building basically on CBS, which was 3 guys doing locker talk sort of stuff. Like, I mean, Davies, Dempsey, Onyewu, those 3 guys were just doing locker talk stuff. Yeah. I'm not saying all locker talk stuff is good. I'm just saying they just let those guys free for all it. Onyewu makes an unfortunate comment as a joke, and now he's in trouble. I hope he's
in trouble?
I don't know. I hope he's...
No. So I think the thing is that obviously, Gooch, Dempsey, and Davies all played together. They have a great chemistry together. They're just boys. They're each other's boys. They have fun. They banter each other. They bash Dempsey for being the only person on that panel that didn't score against Mexico.
Yep.
Then they bash Gooch for having a calculator and making up a fake word.
Yep.
Beasley posted on Twitter about it, and I said, I felt that was a little harsh on Gooch, but you know what? Every now and then you have to take your lumps, So it is that locker room that hey, we're just part of the boys, hanging out, this is how we talk, and he carried it over. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. It was fun banter, but he probably thought it was maybe inappropriate to say to somebody he's not necessarily overly familiar with.
Yeah,
I don't think she took it any certain way by any means.
It didn't seem like it.
She's in a locker room herself, making comments to her people. Like other Mexican women national team or any club that she's on. They all do this type of stuff. They know it's just joking. He's not literally going to go across there and strangle her.
I get it, but we're into the sort of a turd world now where parody and that's what that was. It was a joke. Is very highly monitored, I guess, by the Twitter world. And that's why, unfortunately for Gooch, he had to come out and make an apology today. And I'm glad he made the apology, and I hope they keep him on the show. I think he's been fun. And, but if you're... Yeah, but if you're setting up the conversation as they do on that show as sort of a locker room, I don't know, back and forth, then you're going to get jokes like that aren't. I didn't necessarily find the joke that funny, but I can see how other people would be like, "Oh, he didn't literally mean he was going to strangle her." All right, he didn't literally mean that.
It's not grade A comedy by any means, but it's friendly rivalry banter, in my opinion.
And had he said it to a man, I don't think anyone would have thought two bits about it. Honestly, really don't.
Quite frankly, I didn't spend much time on Twitter today. I didn't see anything really about it. So it came as a surprise that he apologized via Twitter, because he apologized live. In all honesty, that should have put an end to all of it if there was ever anything to begin with. Which again, there
and he
isn't.
even said on the show, I'm not. It's not that I'm going to come across the table and strangle you personally. It was symbolic, really. And we don't live.
They even had a segment prior to that about Gooch's stare down of Borghetti, and so they're playing up the rivalry. This is a nothing burger, in my opinion. This is a giant nothing burger.
Yeah, and Brett, we don't live in a world of nuance anymore.
Nope.
And when nuance and when analogies aren't taken deeper, aren't looked at in context, yeah, these kind of blowbacks can happen.
Shit,
but that's where we are right now. That's where we are.
You can't even say UEFA and get away with it now. It was getting a little too serious, man. I had to bring it down.
Yeah, it sounds like a fart. All right.